There is a moment that almost every broken heart experiences, a moment that defies logic and ignores time. You spend months, maybe years, crying over someone. You spend nights staring at the ceiling, wondering what you did wrong, wondering why you weren't enough, wondering how they could walk away so easily while you were left picking up the pieces. You go through the anger. You go through the bargaining. You eventually, painfully, find a way to stand on your own 2 feet again. You finally stop checking their phone. You finally stop looking for their name in your notifications. You finally breathe. And then, right when you let go, right when the wound begins to close, they return. It happens like clockwork. It happens so often that it feels like a universal law. A text out of nowhere. A like on a photo from 3 years ago. A sudden phone call at 2 a.m. The person who broke you, the person who acted like you didn't exist, suddenly reappears as if no time has passed. And you are left asking the question that has haunted millions of souls before you. Why? Why now? Why do people who hurt us always come back? Is it love? Is it regret? Is it a sign from the universe that you are meant to be? Or is it something darker, something psychological, something rooted in the way human beings are wired to value what they lose? Today, we are going to unravel this mystery. We aren't just going to look at the surface reasons. We are going to dive deep into the psychology of loss, the spirituality of connection, and the undeniable truth about human nature. Because if someone has come back into your life, or if you are sitting there waiting for them to come back, you need to understand the real reason why it happens. And it is rarely what you think it is. To understand their return, you first have to understand their departure. When someone leaves you, especially someone who hurts you, someone who betrays your loyalty or takes your love for granted, they are usually operating from a place of ego. In that moment, they are convinced that the grass is greener elsewhere. They are convinced that they can find someone better, someone easier, someone who doesn't require them to grow or change. They see your love not as a gift, but as a given, constant, a safety net that will always be there. So they leave. They walk away with their head high, feeling a false sense of freedom. They think they have escaped the burden of a relationship. They think they have won. But here is the first psychological truth that brings them back. The reality check of the void. When they leave, they enter the world with high expectations. They expect the world to applaud them. They expect to find a new connection that gives them everything you gave them, but without the effort. But the world is cold. The world is indifferent. They meet people who play games. They meet people who are selfish. They meet people who love them only for what they can provide, not for who they are. And slowly, the silence sets in. They start to realize that the freedom they chased is actually loneliness. They start to realize that the person who listened to their stories, who supported their dreams, who forgave their mistakes, that person is gone. And in the void of your absence, your value begins to rise. This brings us to the first major reason they return, the comparison trap. Human beings learn by contrast. We often cannot see the true value of light until we are sitting in the dark. When they were with you, they couldn't see your worth because they were standing too close to it. It's like standing with your nose pressed against a beautiful painting. You can't see the art, you only see the blurry brushstrokes. But when they step back, when they step away, the picture comes into focus. They start comparing every new person to you. She isn't as patient as you were. He doesn't understand my jokes like you did. They don't make me feel safe like you did. The mind has a funny way of filtering memories. When they left, they focused on the bad things, the arguments, the boredom, the stress. But as time passes, the brain's fading effect bias kicks in. The negative memories fade faster than the positive ones. And suddenly, they aren't remembering the fight you had 3 months ago. They are remembering the way you looked at them. They are remembering the feeling of home. And this realization hits them not as a thought, but as a hunger. They realize they threw away a diamond to go pick up stones. And that hunger drives them back to your door, hoping that the door is still unlocked. But there is a second, deeper reason, a spiritual reason that pulls them back. And this one is harder to explain with just psychology. It's the energy of detachment. Have you ever noticed that the moment you truly stop caring, the moment you truly surrender the hope of them coming back, that is the exact second they reach out. Feels like telepathy. Feels like magic. But it is actually energetic physics. When you are chasing someone, when you are crying over them, when you are constantly checking their social media, you are sending out an energy of need. You are energetically leaning forward, grasping, pulling. And instinctively, when someone feels pulled, they pull back. Resistance creates distance. Your desperation feeds their ego. It tells them, I am the prize. They are waiting for me. I can take my time. But the day you decide to choose yourself, the energy shifts. The day you wake up and say, I deserve better. You sever the energetic cord that was feeding them. You pull your energy back into your own center. You stop broadcasting need and start broadcasting wholeness. And they feel it. Even if they haven't spoken to you in 6 months, they feel the shift. The sudden absence of your attention creates a vacuum in their life. They no longer feel your energy chasing them, so they stop running. And when they stop running, they turn around. They look back. They wonder, why isn't she chasing me anymore? Why isn't he waiting? Their ego takes a hit. The validation they got from your suffering is gone. And in a panic, they reach out. They come back to check if they still have power over you. They come back to see if the cord is still there. This leads us to the third, and perhaps most painful reason. They come back because they haven't changed, but they hope you haven't either. We have to be honest about the darker side of their return. Not everyone who comes back is carrying a bouquet of regret. Not everyone who knocks on your door is looking for redemption. Sometimes they come back because they are looking for a refill. Think of your love, your patience, and your kindness as a resource. For a long time, you were their source of supply. You were the one who validated them when they felt small. You were the one who comforted them when the world was harsh. You were the one who absorbed their toxicity so they didn't have to carry it. When they left, they thought they didn't need that supply anymore. But as we discussed, the world is stingy with its love. So when they run empty, when their new relationship fails, when their job gets stressful, when they feel lonely on a Friday night, they remember the source. They remember you. They come back not because they love you, but because they love how you made them feel. They love the version of themselves that reflected in your eyes. They are returning to you like a thirsty traveler returns to a well. But you must ask yourself, are they here to water the garden, or are they just here to drink? This is often why they reappear with breadcrumbs. They don't come back with a grand apology. They don't come back with a 10-page letter acknowledging your pain. They come back with a hey. They come back with a thinking of you. They come back with a meme sent at midnight. These are tests. They are testing the waters to see if you are still accessible. They are doing the minimum amount of work to get the maximum amount of validation. If you reply instantly, if you open your heart immediately, you confirm to them that you are still the reliable source. You confirm that they can leave, hurt you, explore the world, and still have a soft place to land whenever they choose. But there is a fourth reason, a reason that speaks to the karma of the soul. And this reason is the most powerful one for those who believe in the deeper lessons of life. They come back because the lesson isn't finished. Life operates in cycles. We repeat the same patterns, meet the same types of people, and face the same heartbreaks until we learn what we are supposed to learn. Sometimes, a person returns to your life not because they are your destiny, but because they are your final test. The universe brings them back to ask you a question. Do you love yourself yet? When they return, standing there with the same charm, the same smile, maybe even the same excuses, life is handing you a mirror. Are you going to repeat the cycle? Are you going to betray your own boundaries again? Or have you finally learned that you are worth more than inconsistency? Their return is not always a gift. Sometimes it is an exam. It is your opportunity to look at the thing you once thought you couldn't live without and realize that you have outgrown it. It is your chance to say no to the past so you can say yes to the future. This is why they often come back right when you are starting to flourish. Right when you meet someone new. Right when you get that promotion. Right when you finally feel happy. Their energy senses that you are leveling up, and the old version of you, the version that matched their vibration, is dying. They come back to try to pull you down to the old frequency. They are the anchor trying to catch the ship before it sails. But let's look at the fifth reason, the one that gives hope to the romantics, the one that is rare but real. Sometimes they come back because they genuinely woke up. It takes a profound loss to shake a sleeping soul. Sometimes the person who hurt you was acting out of fear, out of childhood trauma, out of an inability to handle the intensity of real love. They ran because they were scared. They hurt you because they were hurting themselves. And in the time apart, they did the work. They faced their demons. They sat in the silence and let the guilt wash over them. They realized that you weren't just someone. You were the one. How do you know if this is the reason? You will know by their humility. A person who returns for an ego boost will talk about themselves. They will talk about how much they missed you, how lonely they are, how hard their life has been. But a person who returns out of genuine realization will talk about you. They will talk about your pain. They will acknowledge the specific ways they hurt you. They will not ask for a relationship immediately. They will ask for forgiveness first. They will understand that trust is a rebuilt bridge, not a demanding right. They will be willing to stand in the cold and wait for you to open the door, however long that takes. Because when someone finally sees the value of what they lost, they stop trying to negotiate the price. They pay it. So we have the comparison trap. We have the energetic shift. We have the supply refill. We have the karmic test. And we have the genuine awakening. But knowing why they come back is only half the battle. The real question, the question that will define your future, is what do you do when they are standing there? How do you distinguish the soulmate from the lesson? How do you protect your peace without closing your heart? Because the moment they return is dangerous. It is a moment of high emotion. Your brain will flood with dopamine. The memories of the good times will rush to the surface, threatening to drown out the reality of the pain. You will be tempted to forget the sleepless nights. You will be tempted to believe the potential instead of the reality. You need a strategy. You need a spiritual and psychological filter to run their return through. Without it, you risk falling back into the same loop that broke you in the first place. So your phone lights up. Their name is on the screen. Or maybe you run into them at a coffee shop, and that familiar rush of adrenaline hits your bloodstream. They are back. The universe has circled them back into your orbit. What now? This is the moment of power. This is the moment where your destiny splits into two paths. One path leads back to the cycle of pain. The other path leads to liberation. To choose the right one, you must pause. Do not react. Do not let your loneliness answer the door. Let your wisdom answer it. Here is the three-step spiritual filter you must use before you let them back in. First, check the vibration. When they reach out, what is the immediate feeling in your body? Not your heart is biased. Not your mind can rationalize anything. Ask your body. Does your stomach tighten? Does your chest feel heavy? Do you feel a sudden wave of anxiety mixed with excitement? Anxiety is often mistaken for passion, but they are not the same. If their return brings you peace, if it feels calm, steady, and clear, that is a good sign. But if their return makes you feel chaotic, desperate, or fearful of saying the wrong thing, that is your intuition screaming. That is your soul remembering the trauma your mind is trying to forget. Listen to the body. Keeps the score. Second, listen for the I. When they speak to you, listen to their language. Are they telling you about their bad year? Are they telling you about their regrets? Are they telling you how much they need you? If the conversation centers on their needs, they have not returned for you. They have returned for themselves. A person who has truly evolved will center the conversation on the harm they caused. They will say, I know I hurt you. I know I broke your trust. I am sorry for not valuing you. They will validate your reality, not just their own feelings. If they skip the accountability to get to the reconciliation, they are just looking for a shortcut. Do not give it to them. Third, look for the action, not the words. Words are free. Apologies are easy. I miss you costs nothing. But changed behavior, that is expensive. That costs ego. That costs time. That costs effort. If they say they have changed, let them prove it. Do not rush back into a relationship. Let them court you again. Let them earn your trust brick by brick. If they get impatient, if they say, "Why can't we just go back to normal?" then you have your answer. They don't want to build a new house. They want to squat in the old ruins. A person who values you will respect the pace of your healing. They will understand that they are the ones who broke the vase, so they don't get to complain about how long it takes to glue it back together. But what if you realize, through this filter, that they haven't changed? What if you realize they are just lonely, or bored, or testing you? Then you have to do the hardest thing in the world. You have to thank them. Yes, thank them. Not for coming back, but for showing you that you have outgrown them. Thank them for the final closure. Because sometimes, seeing that they are still the same person is the only thing that finally kills the hope. It breaks the fantasy. It allows you to see them not as the one who got away, but as the bullet you dodged. And then you close the door. You don't have to slam it. You don't have to scream. You can close it gently, with grace, with the quiet confidence of someone who knows their worth. You can wish them well and mean it, because you know that their journey is no longer your burden to carry. There is a beautiful quote that says, "If you lose someone but find yourself, you won." Their return is the universe asking you to confirm your victory. It is asking, are you sure you found yourself? Are you sure you know your value? When you can look at the person who hurt you and feel neutrality instead of need. That is when you have won. That is when you are free. The ultimate reason people who hurt you come back is to serve as a milestone. They are markers on your timeline of growth. They show you how far you have come. They show you that the love you were begging for is actually the love you have finally learned to give yourself. So if they are back, take a breath. Don't be afraid. You are not the same person who they left. You are stronger now. You are wiser now. You are whole now. If they fit into this new, whole version of you, wonderful. But if they don't, then let their return be the final goodbye. Let it be the moment you choose your future over your history. Because the person who is truly meant for you will not need to lose you to realize your worth. They will not need to break you to build you. They will value you when you are there, not just when you are gone. And that is the person worth waiting for. That is the person worth keeping the door open for. So trust the timing of your life. Trust the lessons. And most importantly, trust yourself. You have survived the heartbreak. You have survived the silence. You will survive their return. And you will choose what is best for your soul because for the first time in a long time, you know exactly what that is. Sparkle. The next time that name pops up on your screen, don't panic. Smile. Because you know the truth now. You know why they are there. And you know that the power isn't in their hands anymore. It's in yours. Welcome to Mindsy. If you are ready to understand the hidden truths of your heart, the secrets of your mind, and the spiritual laws that guide your relationships, make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon. We don't just share facts. We share the keys to your emotional freedom. Never miss a truth that could change the way you see love forever.